Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to what is another edition here of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. You see Mikey, you see me, still waiting on Joey D, Mikey. I called him, I told him that I was like, "You ready for the pod?" He said, "What pod?" I said, "We're filming at 6 o'clock." And he said, "Well, I'm in my Ginch." And I was like, I don't know. It's not like the 6 o'clock was news. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's his world. We're just living in it, Bob. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's his
yeah,
world. It's his world. We're
yeah,
living in it.
yeah. I don't know. There's times with the Bob to Sports where he shows up late. I don't know if it's like a bit. Like he'll even now just show up like a minute late. Like we're saying that would be down at 6:30. He'll be there at like 6:30. It's never on
Who's
time.
consistently the most tardy?
Oh, Joe, without
Is it
question.
Joe always?
Oh, not a doubt. Yeah, and
Oh,
without a doubt. Yeah,
that's
Jet
hard
is
to
really
hear.
good,
That's hard to hear,
but
honestly.
yeah.
Because I feel like he's a guy that always talks like he prides himself on. He purports himself as being a guy who's always on time. Like he makes it seem like he's always like I'm never late. I'm on top of it. I'm there. And for you to say that is very, very discouraging.
Yeah, but are you
And I have to bring it up
surprised?
when he comes in.
Are you surprised?
No, no,
Yeah, no,
no.
yeah. He went a little bit of a hand up to me recently that he's got to be
Okay.
better on time, but he's in the lobby here, so let's bring in the D man and just keep it on rolling, ladies and gentlemen. And as we also bring in the D man, that would be the Peter D coming off quite the hot chip experience. It's not the same juices flowing from before of the podcast just because I was so excited for that chip. But we do have a little something that we're cooking up. Mikey, you don't even know this yet. Something that was brought to my attention today.
Oh
But
boy.
Peter, good to see you, D. You look exhausted.
Yeah, I had to run off the golf course because we had to change the time that we're filming for this week. So, I mean, listen, I had a whole, I mean, I've been like getting burnt in the Utah sun out here in the desert, and had a round of golf that we were playing.
Mikey's got
But
the barbecue. Mikey's got the barbecue
Whoa,
tomorrow.
whoa,
So
whoa,
we're
whoa,
not
whoa,
doing
yeah,
that.
it's
whoa,
a big
whoa,
that
whoa,
barbecue.
Well,
whoa.
no,
Yeah,
the
it's a
well,
big old.
well,
Whoa, let's not pretzel again, guys. I said we could have recorded anytime Saturday early. It had to be early or all day Sunday. I
I
said I was
thought we said we
available
couldn't do Saturday
all
morning, Bob.
all day Monday. I said I was available all day Monday, all day Sunday. You guys can't do Monday,
Wait,
you can't do
tomorrow.
Sunday.
but
What am
we're
I
on
supposed to
because
do, guys? I'm
we couldn't.
hosting tomorrow.
We're on a 2 hour time difference here, so we wouldn't have been able to do eight
Got
o'clock.
that. What
You know
about
what I
Sunday or
mean?
Monday? I gave an all day window of
I
We're
availability.
I
traveling
would have
through
been okay.
Utah in a Mountain Dew van.
Okay. Well,
Oh yeah, I mean
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
right.
So, Joe,
That
quite frankly, while you're traveling in Utah in a Mountain Dew van, the fact you had to come off the golf course a little early, I gotta
I
be a hundred
canceled
percent
dinner
honest. I
plans.
really don't give two flying
It's
fucks.
6 o'clock here. I haven't eaten. I'm fucking starving.
You're not gonna starve. You're not gonna
I
starve,
can tell
Joe.
you
You're
what,
not gonna starve.
probably had a really nice homemade Holly made dinner tonight that you're
Pizza
sitting at doing the pod after a nice full
shows how
stomach.
much you pay attention, Joe. It's Pizza Friday.
Oh, even better, you had a whole pie.
It's Pizza Friday.
I would have died to have a pie right now.
You don't want Utah pie, dog. I could guarantee you probably don't want that Utah
Yeah,
pie.
no, you're probably right.
You don't want that
But
Utah pie.
but can I ask you something in all seriousness? Like
Hmm.
I couldn't fathom having 30 people over at my house to host a barbecue dinner. And it seems like you're hosting. And again, I just out of curiosity,
Yeah, go ahead.
do you enjoy having like hordes of people over to your house to host?
So
Because for
here's
me, that sounds
so
like
here's
a ton of
so
responsibility. It sounds awful.
last year we did it. It was a smaller group. This year it's going to be a little bit bigger. It's a lot of kids, which is obviously that's tough because kids are just. But I will say this: I don't mind it because it's in the yard. You know what I mean? It's not like it's
Yeah,
inside. If
but you
it was
gotta make sure
inside,
your house is spotless. You gotta clean up after. You gotta buy the food for the
I
barbecue.
will.
Like that's a
it's
lot of work,
entertaining. It's
Michael.
entertaining. I love it.
You do
I
like to
do.
entertain?
I do love
Oh, I
that.
mean, of
I
course he
do.
loves it. Bobby does it all the time.
I do. I do.
The guy's a
know.
natural entertainer.
I mean, you guys have been over for football Sunday.
You
You
do a
see,
great job.
He's
I'm not.
the
we enjoy it. My wife enjoys
Siegfried
it.
and Royd of entertaining. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah, you
is.
just
It
need a
is.
couple lions running
All
through
I'm
the
missing
back
is
here.
the Bengal tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we got our tiger right here, and Joey D. That's my tiger
Never
right
seen it.
there.
Never seen anything like it. And we
Yeah.
did, for the people out there curious, we did follow up about because I think a lot of people were curious about how was the aftermath? How was the shit in
Wasn't
particular?
that bad.
And the guy just said that it was like taking a dump like any other day. The guy is just not normal.
No.
Something with this guy is just wired and built different.
You know the chip is bad because like you've seen people react to it. It's crazy.
I mean, Bob, I
it's
had
people were
down my
sending him
face.
death articles before it started, Bob. You
Dude,
remember how nervous he was?
yeah,
There was a lot of
he's
build up to
just-
it.
I was
seen him.
actually a little nervous. Normally, I don't get nervous at all for those.
I would have been nervous, Joe. Like, listen, food challenges, like when I do volume, it's one thing. Like, I know the volume is gonna suck dick, but it's not gonna like physically, like it's not gonna
it's not gonna
physically
ail
hurt
you.
me.
Let me ask you, Mikey, what do you think in your eyes is more impressive? You completing the Spanky's challenge or
Oh,
the way,
yeah.
but the way that Joey D reacted to the hot chip?
Well, I think I told you, Bob. I said I'd rather do volume than do that. Like to me, that is just so awful.
You're built for volume.
But I'll say this, like I think in terms of impressive, I'll say like I think a lot of people could pop a chip into their mouth. They're going to be miserable about it. But like I don't know how many people could physically. I'll tell you, you have 6 minutes and 4 seconds to eat this. You have to do it in under that time. I don't think a lot of people could physically do it.
No,
I agree with that. I just think with the way of how unfazed he was. I mean,
it was
of course,
insane,
it hit him
bro.
in the beginning.
It was insane.
But yeah,
It
I
was
do
insane.
agree. Now we
I
do.
will say
I
to
saw
some of the
people bitching. Yeah,
I did this voluntarily, essentially. Like it wasn't like I was under
that was
some
pro
kind of
Jono.
fucking
Pro
yeah,
Jono.
pro Joe. Oh yeah, it was pro
Pro Jono.
Jono. But it wasn't like there was some kind of stipulation or rule set in place for me. I did this thing for the entertainment of people. And by the way, what we've learned out of all of this is that people love to watch others suffer. So maybe moving forward, this is the recipe for success of where the Brilliant Dumb Show needs to go. That we just need to start going under scrutiny. And maybe this podcast is going to reach the heights that it deserves to be at.
Look at Bob Does Sports. Bob Does Sports has been built off of suffering on the golf.
I know.
Mikey, this Breaking 80 series that we're doing, it's probably the best series we have going. Like it did 1 million and 3, like it's going bananas. And I really do think that it's people who want to gather around and just watch me just struggle at the thought of being 8 over par. You know, it's just crazy. Joe's got his hand up.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a preposition.
It's a proposition.
Proposition.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Preposition.
I'm tired. I'm fatigued. I'm half out of it from the desert sun. A proposition will be made right now. Okay.
Oh no.
If one of you two in the next several weeks does a challenge of some sorts, I will run back another challenge of my own. I will do either a cinnamon challenge. I will do a double hot chip.
What is the cinnamon? What is the cinnamon challenge again? A teaspoon.
You have to put a whole spoon. And by the way, I would like Bob to do that, to be honest.
Well, I will, if we're being honest, I know that I'm the one due. Like you guys have had pain.
A Bob cinnamon challenge would be fucking hysterical.
Somebody asked in the comments like, well, when's Bob going to do something? And everyone was like, yeah, never, bro.
Bob loves this show, and I know that Bob would do something.
Oh, he would do it. I feel like the cinnamon one would be a good one for Bob because
that's what I'm saying.
Not like worst case scenario, he just coughs up a huge cloud of cinnamon. That would be incredible.
Yeah, I would. It really
visually wise, I think it would be fucking amazing. It would be amazing.
And I think if Bob
is it a teaspoon, Joe?
It's a teaspoon of cinnamon, and you gotta wait. That one you gotta actually wait like 1 minute before you drink. That's the challenge.
Wait,
so you do
okay.
You do a teaspoon of cinnamon, swallow it, and then we wouldn't even make him wait a minute. I think after 30 seconds,
we would. Joe, I got news for you. We wouldn't need a minute, buddy. We'd be 20 seconds into that thing.
Oh, 10 seconds in, he would just be dousing water down.
You put cinnamon in your mouth.
It's
and
1 teaspoon. It's
take
not
a
even
teaspoon
a
of a full teaspoon of cinnamon. It sounds bad. This is my thing. I would almost do that too, but I think it is Bob's turn.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a good one for Bob. It sounds so simple, but it is like apparently it's impossible. You can't do it.
Well, no,
I'll do it.
When you swallow it.
All right, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, I'll do
that next week.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So this is of all the challenges, Bob. I think this is the least bad one.
So that rush that we had on the podcast last week, like knowing that was coming at the end, it was the greatest. I mean, the views that it did too, and we like views. I am down to do the cinnamon.
Okay, so we could chalk that up. We can
we could exchange it for the ass.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Let's exchange it for the ass Bob. This way we don't have to do the ass Bob.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a trade-off.
I will say this. I would trade off the Ask Bob next week for.
I mean, if it was the only way to go,
I'm
then
not
the
gonna
only
do
way he's
it.
going to
Yeah,
do it.
I wouldn't do that to the program. I'm on board with the Ask
I
Bob.
will say
No, you have
this:
to.
I got a
Ask
good
Bob's doing
old
numbers,
I
man.
got a good Ask Bob this week.
The thing is, nobody loves it more than Joe, because Joe loves to see me struggle through it.
You said last week nobody enjoys it more than Mikey.
Yeah, it could be true too. Mikey does love it.
I
He
do
does.
like it. I
He'll
just
be
think
like,
I'm
okay.
impressed. I'm impressed.
Bob's
Bob's
been on a
been on
heater.
a hot streak.
That's a
Aside
pat
from
on the head.
the Gulf of China, he's been on a heater.
The Gulf of China was fucking.
Yeah.
To think, by the way,
Gulf of
I was
China
thinking
sucks.
about it afterwards. It's not even called an ocean; it's called the Gulf of China. So, like, or the
Yeah, but I mean, you know, tit for tat there, Joe. Let's.
Yeah,
I will say he's been doing pretty good.
People didn't rough me up
Very
too
good.
bad on that. I think some people understood, didn't think that was terrible for me. But yeah, no, there's been some bad ones. I gotta repost that Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? But with the hype of it last week, Ticket said to me, he's like, I'd love to get involved. I was like, what do you mean?
Ticket wants to do something too now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said.
I'm doubling down.
He's
on it.
reiterating.
Yeah, no, it
He's
is.
reiterating
It
that,
is
yes.
true. He's right. And then he said it to me again at lunch today. He's down to do anything. He's down to do anything. So
Well,
it's
he
like,
did. If you guys recall, it was a couple
hot
summers
dogs?
ago. He did do the hot dogs.
correct.
Because I remembered after Joe had said it, I thought about it. And I was like, I think he did it like the week that I came back from vacation or while I was on vacation. I think it was
Yeah.
that episode, literally. And
You
he
know
was
what-
scarfing
you know
How many
down
did
hot
he
dogs.
do? Do we remember?
A lot, bro. A lot.
Like 7 or 8,
I think more. I think
maybe
more.
9.
I got an idea. What if we have Ticket? I'm thinking like a donut challenge, because that's something we did for Bob to Sports that did really good. But what if we just have Ticket as like a producer box where he's on the episode, he doesn't even say anything, and he's just eating the donuts throughout, and he tries to do like 10 or 12 donuts during the whole episode, and then throughout the episode you could just like see him there.
EA could build in a donut counter in the bottom corner real
Correct.
easy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a master of his craft. So
Yeah.
he could easily
But
do
next
that.
week, next week for now,
The
is the
cinnamon scoop,
challenge.
yeah, cinnamon toast.
Oh
Bob.
yeah, cinnamon toast Bob.
Yeah, 100%.
The
100%.
only problem with it is we're gonna be at Showtime's wedding next week, so we might have to do the following week because it's gonna be hard to do it in New York. Not to say maybe I could go out and get.
I'll
some.
DoorDash you some cinnamon, Bob.
All right, fuck it.
It's by the way, it's only 1 teaspoon.
I could just hear Mikey's laugh, like when Mikey really like that belly laugh that Mikey has, like when it puffs out.
If Bob gives out the cloud of cinnamon, bro, I will be.
It'll be a city Bob.
I'll be in rare form, bro.
Dude, I watched like the first night we got here on was it the second night, Tuesday, that when the podcast came out, I watched the episode and I kept rewinding to watch Mikey more than Bob, but both of your reactions at
Oh,
different
so
times
good,
when I was
man.
doing it, and you guys were just howling, and I was cracking up just watching your guys' reactions. It was so fucking funny.
I was
to watch.
so taken back by how it just in typical Joe fashion, just how he just took it and just fucking the whole way. It just is. Joe just attacks everything in life. Sometimes, you know, I think to his disadvantage, to be honest. I think he goes too hard, bro. He goes too hard in the paint. Like everyone calls me the hardo. I get it. I'm fully accepting of it.
You are.
But he goes hard in the paint, bro. Like
Yeah.
Bob,
Right.
we're at this gym. We were working out at this gym in Wisconsin when we were there. See, he's giggling because he knows where this is going. This guy's doing overhead rope extensions. Great exercise for the triceps.
Yeah.
You know the one where you're
triceps are
taking
good.
the rope and you're going, over the head extension. Dude, this guy,
I was doing like 80 pounds.
he's doing it. And he's doing literally triple the weight that I would rep out on this overhead extension. And he's like humping the air as he does it, Bob. So he's taking like just imagine he's going like this with the rope. He's taking the rope and he's going, whoa. He's like throwing in like a hump motion to it. And bro, it's like, it would be like if I was on the golf course and did something very stupid and he's like, Mike, listen. So I went over to him and this had been on the heels of the conversation about his back.
Yeah.
And so I went up to him and I'm like, Joe, I'm like, look, I'm like, you're doing all this weight. I was like, we need to cut this down to about 30 pounds. I was like, and don't use anything except your arms and just extend at the elbows and just
I
squeeze
was
your elbows
firing
in.
through that weight.
Mikey, how much? Because I'm pretty
Dude.
familiar with that.
Oh, it was like
how
80
much,
pounds.
How much weight do you think he was doing?
Dude, he almost had the rack out. He almost
Yeah.
racked it, dude. He was
Yeah, it
almost
was a lot.
Rackosaurus on that motherfucker. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, the way he's throwing his hips into it like a full body, like
Oh God!
I
Wait,
had to
so
go up to him
Mikey-
and I was like, but this is like, I just feel like Joe does everything like he does it. Like he just, when he just goes full bore. Like there's no like.
I'm either gonna do it or I'm gonna fail miserably.
that's
But
why.
did you feel when I
No,
looked?
by the way, I took your words like very. I was actually very receptive.
Yes.
I would love to do like a week in the gym with Mikey and like watch him like
It
how
would be some series. That would be content.
I would
did.
add to it.
I DM'd you, by the way.
with
I
the
said,
Ju- I
know, I
said brick
saw.
by brick. I said,
with the
Yeah.
Jordans on too.
Well, I don't have any
dude,
other- I
when
don't
you
have
break
any
out
other
the bread
shoes.
11s in the gym,
in the
dog,
gym.
that's
amazing.
serious business. Those bread
I
11s.
don't have any other workout
Joe's the
shoes.
type, like if Joe went to like a local YMCA gym, he's the guy who's wearing a Magic Johnson jersey, like headband,
Well,
like
I
the
used to like the
LeBron.
sweatbands when I played basketball. Yeah.
So you like,
No.
Remember, Mikey, the video of me when I was chucking up the threes?
Yeah, was that like a real outfit that you would have worn
Oh.
in reality?
To some extent, yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So Joe was like, he was big into like the Keith Van Horn sweatbands. Like he was
Yes.
So you did you go like the arm sweatbands, like around the elbows, like that?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Tracy
yeah.
McGrady?
Yeah, the one on the arm. Yeah. I mean, let me see if I have that
Dude,
video.
How much
No,
could your
we've
arms
seen
have been
that.
sweating, dog?
we've seen that one though. Pete.
Well,
Bob
no, because
hates
the whole
when
reason
Joe
you
goes
go
into
like
the
this and you
archives,
wipe your
dude.
brow.
Bob's biggest nightmare, Joe digging through the phone.
Well, because we
album
lose them.
archives.
We lose them for like 10
Oh, I think I
minutes.
got it. I think I got it.
There we go. See?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Look at that's a swish, Mikey. Look at this.
No, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
By the way, what court was that? That didn't even
that
have
was in
fucking-
LA.
It didn't even have a net. That
Look
hoop.
at
It
that.
was just a fucking
Hold on,
empty
Michael.
hoop. Not even the
Oh
chains.
my god.
I tell you what, you ever play on a rim with the chain with the mesh?
Yeah,
The
it's
chain
great.
sounds
That's
good.
a lot of fun because there's no sound like that, man. When you
Well, one
swish
thing-
on a hoop like that, dog.
The one bad thing about being
Nice
out there
piece.
is that and when you're in the outdoor court like that is you get blasted by the sun and it isn't good for your skin, which is why we're going to give all of our brilliantly dumb listeners an opportunity to take the care that they need to for their skin with Caldera Labs skincare made for men, Michael. Let's be real. Most skincare products aren't made for men. And when they are, they're usually not great. They're overly complicated. They're packed with questionable ingredients, or they just don't deliver results. That's where Caldera Labs comes in. They've redefined men's skincare by combining advanced science with high quality, non-toxic ingredients to create a simple, effective routine that actually works. It is an award-winning serum made with botanicals and antioxidants to help skin appear smoother and more hydrated. The eye serum is designed to help reduce the appearance of tired eyes, which I get. I mean, look at these eyes. These are tired eyes here, Michael. And the base layer is a nutrient-rich moisturizer that absorbs quickly and provides a non-greasy matte finish. This is cutting-edge formulas. It's a rigorous R&D cycles. Every product takes years to develop, test, and perfect. If we don't love it, we don't release it. That's why Caldera Lab is for you. So whether you're starting fresh or upgrading your routine, Caldera Lab makes skincare simple and effective. Don't settle for drugstore junk or steal your partner's products. Elevate your routine with skincare made for you. Head to calderalab.com/dumb and use DUMB code dumb at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's once again, calderalab.com/DUMB.
And really quickly, the Brilliant Numbers also brought to you by the fine folks over at Kalshi. Kalshi is the first and only federally regulated prediction market in the U.S. After years of working with the federal government, it received approval from the CFTC to launch a brand new financial product. With Kalshi, you can trade on whether events will or won't happen, from major political shifts to pop culture moments. Think, will inflation be over 4% in June? Will Bitcoin hit 100K this year? Who will win the Oscars and the Grammys? who will win the playoffs. I got the Indiana versus New York right here.
You see that,
pro
Bob?
baseball as well
Oh,
right here.
Oh, yeah, there
I
it
mean,
is.
you
There it
got
is.
everything here
Nice,
with
nice.
the Kalshi app. Kalshi has got you covered. If you want to predict it, head on over to Kalshi. Got the app right here. Can't go wrong. Thank you, Kalshi, for sponsoring the Brilliantly Dumb show here. I got a great future prop bet. I got to see what it totally plays out with DraftKings, but to start the NBA, I have the Indiana Pacers to win the Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow. Where'd you
What-
pull that one, Bob?
My dad bet it. He's like, you got to take the Pacers. And I was like,
Wait,
Dad,
when did he say that? Before the playoffs started?
before the playoffs started.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a great. I mean, that's a
He
great
might be
call.
back now.
Could be
I mean,
back.
dude, if you're making that call,
He might be back. I
if
mean,
you're
he is that. He's back.
You're making that call, and considering that Cleveland and Boston were such major favorites, I don't think
Oh.
anybody expected both Cleveland
It's
and
great.
Boston to be out at this point. So what else is in there? Bob?
Now you got the Pacers. You got the
Pacers.
Pacers up, and then I have the Thunder to win it all.
Oh,
So right now,
that
Thunder-
looks terrific.
I know.
This
Sitting on a
guy.
couple goes. D,
Hey, Michael.
Are you?
The rich get richer.
Shouldn't you?
Let's get Richard. Let's get Richard, Joseph.
Cracks him up.
That's right.
Cracks himself up. He
He
really.
he turned the same shade as the brim of that hat just then.
Yeah.
With that laugh.
He just.
Michael said that the other day when Bob put in he had hit some mega parlay. I
Oh
don't even know.
yeah.
Michael just goes, the rich get rich.
Is that what he said? You said that in the group chat?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Because when we were in Wisconsin, I was saying it all the time. Like it was like one of those sayings. Like this is actually. So I heard this saying. This is how sick of a fucking person I am. I heard this saying watching old WWF wrestling back in the day.
The poor.
And the commentator was Bobby the Brain Heenan, who those of you who don't know who that
Bobby
is.
the Brain Heenan.
Bobby the Brain Heenan was Jerry the King Lawler before Jerry the King Lawler was Jerry the King Lawler. So he was the
same
heel.
guy?
No, he was the bad guy announcer before Jerry the King Lawler.
Okay.
And he was
Jerry
this
the King
guy.
Lawler is amazing too.
Right. And people who think Jerry the King Lawler was awesome, this guy would have been canceled today, but he was fucking hysterical. Oh, he used to.
My God.
One of his favorite sayings was the rich get richer and the poor get children. That was one of his favorite sayings of all time in wrestling. And again, he just
I'm getting a child.
To piss people off.
Bob's hitting parlays.
So that's what I said, and that was the instance. Was Joe was talking about the kid, and then he's like, "And do you believe Bob hit this thing?" And I go, "The rich get richer, the poor get children." Joseph, that's the way it goes. But that's all in good fun, seriously. But that's really good though. It's really
Tickets said to me, called me this morning. I was in my hotel room. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I just made a cup of coffee." He's like, "You have coffee in your room?" I was like, "Yeah, they have a." He's like, "Oh no, Bobby, my room doesn't have that." I'm like, "Ticket, open your fucking pantry door, you dumbass."
Every hotel room I've been in the last 7 years has some version of shitty. It may be shitty coffee, but they have some version of
I
coffee.
literally said, "Open your door." He opens it. He's like, "All right, I do have coffee." I was like, "Don't even fucking try it, dude."
Wait, so he thought you were in some special room?
Yeah, like I was in some crazy fucking
I
suite.
thought he was in the penthouse.
I put an end to that shit so fast.
But Mikey, you know what happened the other day, which was hysterical. Oh my God. So we played with Sauce Gardner, who, by the way, this guy is as good as advertised. Yeah, he
Mikey.
was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
He really was. I didn't know what to expect. But the funny thing is he was talking about when he was looking to find homes in the New Jersey area. He goes, I was looking at Randolph, New Jersey, but that area is just so expensive. That is the area where our good old Bobby the Brain.
That's a beautiful town. Randolph's a beautiful town.
And then Bob told him it was the number 2 highest.
I know a lot about Randolph, Bob. Randolph Rams, is it not? Rams?
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really good, Mikey.
Yep.
All right.
Right up Route 10. Morris County?
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah.
Nice little area over there, Michael.
It's a beautiful area. Morris County's got some really nice towns.
Says the guy who went to college at fucking Hogwarts and relates to it as Hogwarts.
It was I was a specific.
He refers to it as
Hogwarts,
which is one of the sickest things ever.
Yeah.
It was a refined school, particularly for the what I was going into. One of the best.
It was a hospitality school, Joe.
Yeah, and the
You didn't
Swiss are
learn
known-
fucking wizardry. You didn't play fucking
no.
Quidditch. Like, I
But
just don't understand.
it is the highest schooling that you can go to for hospitality.
right.
They're known for their hospitality programs. Look it up, Michael. I'm not making this
I
up.
don't doubt that. I just failed to see the correlation between hospitality and wizardry. That's the only thing
It
I'm
was a
trying to
joke
say.
because it was in a castle. That's the only
It
reason. I
was in
said
a
it.
castle.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the
That's
first
fucking
one of the
Hogwarts,
first,
dude.
one of the first 5-star erected
But
hotels
Joe,
in
I
Switzerland.
do feel. I mean, we were both in
It was
You-
in like 1904 that the
no,
castle.
in his defense, if you look at the dude,
1904.
It is.
if you
No,
look
I believe that it was. It's just funny.
It was called Co Palace.
at
Yo, this guy, bro.
I'm not making that up. Co
I-
Palace.
Joe, I know you're not making that's why it's great, because I know you're not making it up. It's just fucking insane. That's all. It's called
Sorry, if I s-
Palais.
Co Palace, if you said it in English, but it's French. So
Yeah.
No, I
Co Palace.
Yo, Bob, I mean, he had to explain to me that Palais means
I didn't know if you
Palace.
knew that I was
Mikey.
saying in French.
Mikey, Jet got so pissed at him. The flight lands.
Him
Okay.
and
and-
Jet, I feel like have been like this.
Oh,
dude.
dude, they go.
I
It's
love
the
Jet.
best.
No, but I love Jet.
I
more
know
than
We
you
know you do. It's like saying
know.
you're a rider. We know you're a rider, D.
He loves
But-
saying that.
Yeah, but the flight landed in Dallas. We had a connector, and we were late. So the pilot goes on the horn, and he goes, if anybody has a connector, please let them through. Okay, Joe's in row 37, and Jet's watching this go down, and Jet just gets mortified going through an airport with him by like his antics and just how loud he'll be, like mortified. And so the flight lands, and this lady's going to get out, okay? And she goes to
Yeah.
get out, and Joe goes, she asks him to move. He goes, "We're in aisle 37. You're not going to go anywhere. I mean, you're
That's
never
not
going to."
what happened.
He
That's
said-
not.
Wait, did you also have a connector, Joseph?
No,
We
he
did, but
did.
we had some time. But here's the real story, okay? The
Mind
pretzel
you, this is
version
no,
has been-
no. This is what I was told from Jet.
The pretzel version has now been completed. What happened? She
Okay.
asked to move. By the way, I will preface this by saying this woman decided to get up 4 times within a 3-hour flight prior to that
Yeah,
to go to
that's
the
the worst.
bathroom.
By the way, aisle 37.
I know. It was actually 35. I'm not going to
That's tough.
exaggerate.
I can't believe
Back
Joe's
of the
sitting in
bus.
aisle 35 at this point.
Back of the
Bob.
bus. Back of
I
the
don't
bus.
buy.
Anyways,
That's tough for me to
Dude,
buy.
it's a
Bob.
cross country trip. I mean, it's a long trip. That's it's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
tough. So anyways,
So you were in 35. She was behind you.
she was in the window.
No,
I was in
same
the
row.
aisle.
They were in the
Same
same
row.
Same
So
row.
you had to get up at least
4
5 times.
Four
throughout-
times.
So
prior to
Joe's
this.
already agitated. So
Oh,
now
right.
that's not good
Michael,
for your
she
case.
got
Joe.
up to
That's
go
good
to
for
the-
the Jets case.
She got up to go to the bathroom prior to us even taking
But,
off.
but Joe, do you hear what he
She
said?
got in her seat and then said, "I got to get up to go." So she says
He
at the
doesn't.
end.
He doesn't
No,
hear.
he
it.
doesn't.
She
He
says
doesn't
at the
say-
end,
Let him go.
"I got to make a connecting flight." I get up. I move out of the way. I go forward. Then I'm standing awkwardly in the middle of the aisle because I got to wait for the other guy to go into the middle seat.
That's
The
right.
guy behind me goes, "Yo, I got to get by you because I have a connecting flight." That's when I said to the guy behind me, I said, "Listen, I don't know where you're going to go, my friend." I said, "We're in 35. We ain't going anywhere for a while." Then
so
I
it
got
wasn't
back.
to the lady.
No, it was not to the lady. It was to the guy behind me, some old wiseacre. And then I got back into my
Boy,
seat
hold
and
on.
let him
What
go
does that?
forward.
What does that mean?
It's like a wise Alec, like a wise
Yeah.
guy. A
Oh,
wise
okay,
ass.
okay.
You don't need to
Now,
say
why the
that.
guy was a wise ass, I have no idea.
Because
just
he
wanted to get
saw
off.
me getting out of the rope for the lady to go in front, and I know where to go. And then
Where
he
was
goes
he sitting?
behind me,
Okay.
like
Okay.
2 rows behind. He was trying to bulletproof, like fucking speed pass through the aisle. It's like,
He's trying
you're
to
not
bogart.
going in. And by the way, they must all miss their flights because no one moved. We were way at the back of the bus. There's no way you're gonna go.
Right. Well,
So
it
that's-
sounds like you said exactly what Jet said you said, but to a different person.
To a guy instead of a woman, which for starters, and to the guy
Yeah.
who saw
No,
me,
that's right.
getting
No,
out of my row for a
That's
woman.
fair. I'll give him that, Bob. I'll give him that.
and
like-
and Bob would make it sound like I didn't get up to move. I immediately moved for the lady. It's unbelievable.
Controversial,
Everything is
but
always
It's
there's
interesting.
always these stories where it's like, the same flight, something else happened to me. This shit only happens to me, Michael.
What
the
happened on
lady-
this flight?
And I tweeted about it because I was very, very pissed off about the backpack not going up
Oh,
in the
this-
upper
Mm.
cabinets.
It's funny.
And I tweeted about it. You know
Saw
what?
that
It was a
tweet.
good tweet because Why should I be inconvenienced just
Strong
because
tweet.
I don't bring strong tweet? I don't bring a roller suitcase onto the plane. Does that make my backpack any less important than that other person's suitcase?
Great
And by
question.
the way, I have priority, so I'm in the plane first. My stuff is there before anyone else gets in. So the rule should be by the time you get in, if there's no more overhead space, like I'm entitled to one spot in the overhead compartment, just like everyone else. I don't roll with the fucking rolling suitcase. I bring a backpack and I check my luggage. Like if the person has, by the way, the size of some of these things, Michael, have you seen how big these rolling suitcases that they put on the overhead?
Well, they have to fit specific dimensions or they're not allowed on
Well,
the
some of
airplane.
them are freaking massive. Anyways, the woman says very rudely to me, she gets my backpack out. It's a Yeti backpack.
Wait, which woman is this now?
The stewardess.
Okay.
She says to me, she goes, whose backpack is this? I said, it's mine. It's a Yeti backpack. And she goes, this isn't allowed to be up there. You're going to have to put it down by your feet. I didn't say anything. I bit my tongue. I didn't say anything. So I grabbed the backpack. It felt really heavy compared to what my backpack felt like before. And I put it down by my feet. An hour into the
Now let him go. Let him go.
An hour into the flight, a guy 2 rows up comes up to me and looks at me and goes, I think you got my backpack. I go, sir, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have anybody else's backpack. It was his backpack. He had the same Yeti backpack that I had to have squished in front of my feet for an hour.
Mikey.
And it wasn't even his. This shit just happens.
Bob,
to me.
I was going to say, how in the world was he going to say that his bag felt heavier? And that, like, did somebody like put something?
It was a different backpack. It was the same one.
I understand.
It's
now
like my life is like an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. This shit just happens to me.
But you can't go to the airport with him, especially the airport more than anything, without every step of the way there being seen or it being a part. Like, for example, he'll go to the security with him and he won't change his volume. So everybody's gonna hear what you're saying. That kind of stuff. He'll turn to you and be like, do you believe this place doesn't have clear? He's like,
Philly airport's gotta get on dial, man.
Crazy, but to every step of the way. But Jet, more so than anybody, he just hates going to airports with him. I do get anxiety going to airports with him. I do. I really get very anxious going to airports.
That makes it sound like he's traveling with a fucking hyena. It's not that bad, Bob.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't get that type of anxiety with Joe, just because I feel like I'm used to more people like Joe, where they're very like every time you go somewhere.
I mean, I'm used to Joe. I've known he's been my best friend for fucking.
But then I feel like you shouldn't
years.
have anxiety. You know what's coming, so it's got to just be hysterical because
you
know
what,
what's
Mikey?
coming.
You know what?
Yeah.
I look forward to you guys flying at somewhere, and you report back to me on whether or not you would have anxiety.
Oh, we'll have a blast. Mikey and I, by the way, everybody's like, "Oh, these guys are going to beat each other's throats." We had a grand old time.
You guys had a great. We are correct. We went over there. I agree.
We always are at it. I mean,
we're 2 birds of a feather.
That's right. Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Mikey?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would argue that I see the
I love
world.
Joe.
I would argue that I see the world more in the eyes of Mikey than I do in the eyes of Bob because of the age difference.
Fair enough.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I mean, there were 7 years.
Bob's like, what the
yeah, all right.
I mean, Bob, we're 7 years your elder, Bob.
No, I'm 7 years your elder. Yeah, I mean, look, you guys have seen.
How old is Jet?
Oh,
he's my
young.
age. He's my age.
He's 1 year younger. He's 31.
Yeah, but I'm like, you guys have seen, like, to be honest, maybe this sounds dumb, but like I don't remember Tiger Woods' prime. You guys remember Tiger Woods' prime?
Yeah.
I don't.
Michael Jordan.
I don't really remember MJ on the Bulls. Like I remember it, but I can't like.
I remember Rodman Bulls with MJ. Yeah. Like I don't remember rookie early Jordan Bulls. Obviously.
No, but Scotty.
But I remember Rodman era Bulls very well.
Steve Kerr.
By the way,
and I remember Tiger and not understanding what I was watching. I remember that, and my brother trying to explain to me, he's like, "What this guy is doing is not possible. What he's doing, Like he's trying to explain it to me. And it was a very bad place, I think, to watch golf as a new watcher of golf, because you saw this guy do stuff and that became like an unrealistic expectation. Like the best player in golf should be doing this, which isn't a realistic thing to expect from anybody. Scotty Sheffler, any of these guys. It's not realistic
I
to
know.
expect it.
That's
So
the
it's like
thing now.
it spoiled you.
Maybe
Yeah,
we're
it does.
feeling it to some degree. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say Scotty's as dominant as Tiger was then, but like going into tournaments on Sundays like that major and just knowing that he is going to win or to be the odds-on favorite that he is every single week and that he's going to pull away is pretty amazing. I told you with the DraftKings of I had Scotty Scheffler to win the Masters. I'm sorry. I had Scotty Scheffler to win the major, PGA Championship.
Yeah, PGA.
I had him to win it from the start of the tournament. I put $500 to win 2,500. Okay.
Yes.
Sunday, only being up 3 strokes with everybody else in the field, Rom on us, everything. The cash out they gave me, and usually they short you on cash out. It's like returning a game at GameStop. They short you.
Yeah.
$2,100 for the cash out. So I took it. I said I'm not going to sweat it Sunday.
Yeah,
Granted,
good move. I
yeah,
mean, he won, but
he won. But I thought about it like when Rom tied him up, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I should have cashed out. So I would have sweated it, but I still.
Didn't you take Rom?
And then I had Rom to win it as well.
Oh, so you were sitting in the
Yeah,
catbird seat. That's nice.
I never say this, but I really have been red hot.
That's
Yeah.
big.
You know what you do now? Bobby's just calling the Yankees left, right, and center. You'll be like, they're winning tonight.
I mean, listen, and they got the Rockies this weekend. I mean,
Oh,
now listen, it's Tuesday. This episode comes out, so it's Memorial Day is passed already. Shout out, thank you to everybody who has served. Any of you who have served in the military,
good for you, Michael.
Families. Any of you that have lost your family members to service. This is your weekend. It's about you guys. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees schedule, dude. Like you go from the Rangers to the Rockies. I mean, that's fucking awesome.
You know what bothers me so much though, Mikey, is the Yankees, if Cole wasn't hurt, Max Fried is unbelievable.
Rodon's
How about
pitching
Carlos
really well.
Rodon, it's like if you had Cole, I know the Dodgers are just so dominant. Maybe them and the Padres beat up on each other.
Get ready for that deadline, because if I know Cashman, there's going to be a move, and I think it's a guy who's very familiar with New York, a guy who's very familiar, Mr. Jacob DeGrom. I
but
think
is he healthy now?
the Texas Rangers are done. They can't produce any runs. I wouldn't be surprised. I saw Judge make that little look at him. DeGrom smiled at him. I'm telling you.
I would love that, but the only thing is, Mikey, they really don't have anything to give. Their farm system's shot. Like maybe they have a few.
Yeah, they're gonna they'll be able to dig up some corpses to trade away for him.
That'd be cool.
I think it would be tremendous. I think it would be true, because I think this team. I mean, look, it's only June, and you can't say anything like. But they're doing statistically hitting wise, they're better than last year's team, and that's without Juan Soto. And that's insane to say.
You guys saying the season was over.
That's
what we do.
That's what we do. That's our thing.
If the Yankees lose to the Rockies this evening, the season
it's over.
Well, the Rockies only have 8 wins all year.
That's why, and that's why the season would be over.
Dude, they have.
By the way, you want to bet? You just bet against the Rockies -1.5 every game.
Well, that's the thing, though. They're not even giving the 1.5 anymore. It's like 3.5. It's crazy. Also, too,
they'll give you the 1.5, but it's juiced.
It was -191 for the Yankees game tonight.
Oh my God, that's insane. It's usually always close to plus money. That's insane.
-191.
I saw them on the money line. They were like almost -300. Yeah. Which is sad.
All right, fellas, let's get on into let's start with the Ask Bob segment. Let's get into the Ask Bob portion of the show, and then we'll go into buy or sell.
Joe, you're gonna have to go first. Go ahead.
As we talk, Yankees go up 1-0.
Yes, all right, there we go. We're back there, Mike.
Paul Goldschmidt with the triple.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Goldie bats like I think close to 300 against this pitcher.
How good is this guy, man? He's been. I know people don't want to hear us talk about Yankees.
How about Bellinger?
So try and get away.
How about Bellinger, dog?
By the way, Joe,
unreal.
Yeah, Joe, I hate this time difference. It sucks.
No, it's good because now you can watch the games till later.
Actually, yeah, it's true.
That's really good.
It's like 9 o'clock here now.
So, me up, D man.
All right, you ready for this Ask Bob segment?
Ask for the music. Cue the music.
Cue the music, EA. So today's question I'm going to read it out to you, all right, Bob?
Well, how else is he going to answer?
Yo, come on, man. So, dude, I get treated like a child on this segment, dude.
What are you
'Cause it says I'm
talking
gonna
about?
read it out to
you
you?
got, yo, you
He's
guys
got to read
sung
it off
me
to you. How
so
else is he going to
much.
read it?
I know. It's like I'm
Or
gonna
how's
read
he
it
gonna
out
answer?
loud for you,
Well,
Bob.
that was unnecessary. That was a
Thank
shot.
you.
That was a shot.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Go ahead, dude.
If a plane crashes on the border between USA and Canada, all right? That's the border between US and Canada. Where do they bury the survivors?
Yo, wait, hold on. What the fuck?
Oh, this is a riddle.
I want his answer.
Okay.
That's a terrible. What?
Bob, listen, I'm going to help you.
Whoa, no. He's got
I'm not going to give him any clues. I'm going to help you. I want Joe to repeat the question, but Bob, I want you to listen. Don't get caught up on the details. I just want you to listen very, very carefully.
Michael already knows.
He
Mikey knows the answer.
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
Read it again, Bob. Forget about the scenario.
That's
Listen to the
Let's
words.
go.
Listen to the words, Bob. I'm just trying to help him.
Go!
If a plane crashes in the border between USA, Michael's wearing the hat right there, USA and Canada, where do they bury the survivors?
Where do they bury the survivors? You can't bury the survivors.
Why not?
Because they survived, you
You got it,
scumbag.
Bob! All right!
For him to
listen.
ask why can't you bury the survivors is scummy.
so
I
wrong,
wanted the
dude.
answer. I wanted the
He
answer.
gave the answer, Joe.
He got it
Why
right.
not? What a fucking dick, dude.
Why not?
What a fucking grade A.
Can I ask you a question? Was that not a good question?
Why not? I mean, it was a riddle.
But it was a good question for the ask.
good.
Bob.
I think it's.
And by the way, Bob, you got it right, so you should be thrilled.
Yeah. All right, my turn for Ask Bob. Bob, this week we're heading over to the mathematic region.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Bob, some would call this one of the more rudimentary formulas in mathematics. Maybe the cornerstone formula that almost everyone learns in mathematics at some
I think
point.
I know what this is.
What is the name of the formula that goes a squared plus b squared equals c squared? What is the name of the formula that reads a squared plus b squared equals c squared?
Wait, give him some time. Give him some time.
I know it. Oh my god. I'm gonna say it. I just don't know if it's right.
Oh, just say it though, because if it's not, it's probably gonna be funny as shit.
I can't wait to hear what it is.
Wait.
The Pythagorean theorem.
Wow!
Yeah.
Boy.
Wow.
Yo, this guy's on a freaking heater. He must have had some kind of tuna or something, some brain.
I
food.
cannot believe he got that.
Yeah. Maybe maybe
You, bro.
you guys started off so hot. Maybe the questions have to be a little. When you said math, I
thought
fucked.
that was a difficult question, Bob.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's not an easy question.
No, it's not a layup. Like,
No.
honestly, like I thought the
That's
crustacean
a free throw. You
question
got to
was
make the
easier
shot.
than
Yeah,
that.
crustacean ways.
I
That
really
was
did.
bad. Yo, did
I
you see
thought
that
CIA
guy?
was a tougher question
There was that guy on Twitter. There was a guy on Twitter who
or an easier question.
he shows his kid the Ask Bob segment, and it's like she's like a little kid, and it's like her favorite time of the week because she answers the questions
boy,
before I do.
Bob. It's a boy, Bob.
You didn't see that, Joe? Oh, it's a boy.
It's a boy, yeah.
I don't really remember. Yeah,
But yeah, very
My
funny.
God, that
Yeah,
is
dude.
tremendous.
really funny. So I appreciate whoever was sending that. I got a kick out of that. Let's go into our buy or sell.
Yeah.
Glad that's over. I'll start with a buy, and we've talked about it before, but I had it on the plane on the trip going in. Me and Joe shared a bag of these. I'm just buying how good Reese's is at diversifying. Like I had recently the Reese's fast break. Like the Reese's fast break, and then me and Joe in Philly shared a bag of these Reese's pretzels.
Oh,
Ooh.
The way
Michael,
were those not fire,
they
Joe?
were unbelievable, man.
It's
Oh
funny that you're saying this. It's very funny.
Why is it? Because you have something similar?
No, I had a potential buy, but I'm not going to use it now. But continue what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like the way that they go into things. Reese's does like ice cream and stuff. Like they have diversified better than anybody that I have ever seen do it. Like better than Snickers, better than Twix, Kit Kat. Like they're so good at what they do, and they don't get enough credit.
I think the reason for that is this, and I thought about this week, and because I must have ate something, and it was this particular flavor combination to me. I think Reese's hits everything because chocolate and peanut butter is arguably the best 1-2 punch
Yeah.
flavor combination in existence for dessert
Wait,
wise stuff. I
what
think
was?
chocolate peanut butter,
Oh
chocolate and
yes,
peanut butter. I think
Yeah.
it's just the best 1-2 combination.
had a chocolate and peanut butter milkshake last night. It was terrific.
It's the best. And there's a third element though that I will add in there that I personally I think when you have these three things together, it's the best 1, 2, 3 out there dessert wise. Chocolate, peanut butter, and banana. I think those three flavors together are the GOAT 1, 2, 3 of the
That was the
sweet
milkshake you had, Bob.
Yeah, I just took out the banana, but I should have probably had the banana.
I
Had
left
I,
it in.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
telling you.
D-man
I'm
knows, man.
I'm telling you, man, because that's why when you said the Reese's, I was thinking of the peanut butter and the chocolate, and I had written down that chocolate peanut butter banana is so
Yeah.
good.
Bro, they're the best. They are so good at what they do. These pretzels me and Joe had, if you see them in an airport, Reese's
Are they
pretzels, send
dipped?
Yeah,
Fully
bro.
dipped or
Yeah,
drizzled?
It's
fully
like a
dipped.
dipped and drizzle on top.
And
So
it's like
chocolate dip peanut butter drizzle.
yeah, and there's like the peanut butter inside of it, like it's like a thick thing, so it's covered in chocolate.
Wait,
and
whoa,
then you
whoa!
dip-
What do you mean inside?
I don't know
like
if it's inside. Is it
well,
inside?
there's chocolate around it, but you take the bite, you get the crunch of the pretzel, and then there's like the gooey peanut
Ugh.
butter in a way. Like, it is out of this world good. Me and Joe were just annihilating them. It was
These
so
are the ones. These are the ones. Here. Hold on. I got it. These are unbelievable.
For all
Look
the-
at that.
that's it.
Yeah, I've seen those. For all the love we give Reese's, I mean
do.
that's a sponsor, really.
Our best
Yeah.
episode ever. The biggest controversies
Reese's
about
Pieces,
Reese's.
Pieces.
Yeah.
I know.
By the way,
You think
before-
someone from their camp would have taken that and run with that?
Yeah,
they're
maybe we're
probably
gonna
on
have
a
to reach out.
retreat. They probably
Yeah,
on
they
a
might be on the
company
retreat.
retreat.
I'll reach
Dude,
out. I'll shoot an email over to
Please
Reese's.
do, Mikey.
Reese's
You're
Court.
good at that.
You saw
You send
somebody
over.
reach out to us about pretzels the other day. They're from Nathan's Pretzels. No, you didn't see that? You
The
guys
fact
didn't-
we don't
no.
have a pretzel brand is
No,
why.
but this guy works for Pretzels. He said he could.
I'm saying we should.
Well, he
Yeah.
reached out. What's
Look,
a
with
big
Bob-
pretzel brand? Not Annie Ann's, but the other one.
Wetzel? Wetzel's
no.
pretzels?
No, what the
Rolls
hell?
Gold?
No,
Rolls
I'll
Gold.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Rolls
that's a good
Gold's
pull.
That's a big. That's the
Really good.
heavyweights. of,
Look, we need, especially with Bob HQ,
the blue chip pretzel.
is moving and grooving. Like I really think, we talked about it recently. When Bob HQ gets up and running, to have Mikey fly in for like a weekend to do 2 podcasts.
I already told
Not
Holly.
Snyder's.
Snyder's is a
Snyder's,
big one,
yeah.
Joe. That's a titan of industry in the pretzel game.
I love the sourdough honey mustard.
By the way,
pretzels are
this
really
guy
good.
messaged all of us and we never responded back to him.
That's a
Well,
shame.
how long ago?
Tuesday.
That's on.
Plenty of time. I mean,
Yeah,
you
not
know how
too
much
late.
things could. Yeah, no, that's not too late. I'll be responding.
But
to
D,
that.
I was talking to Mikey about we do the HQ of having Mikey fly in and bang out like 2 episodes. Like maybe he flies in every other weekend, or maybe every other weekend's probably a lot. But like,
No, I had spoken to Holly about it. She's like, she totally is like gets that and is like
Yeah.
not against it at all. So that'll be
Oh, I'd love to have
I think
Mike.
it, dude, we could have this beautiful
For
like,
football
HQ
Sunday?
and everything.
Oh,
The streams. You're
oh.
right, D man. We
the
could do
streams,
Sunday
that's,
morning.
That's the one thing that like I really would love to do more is like
It's up
the
your
stream.
alley. Yeah, it's
That's
up your
like
alley.
right up my alley.
It
man.
is.
You'd
Yeah.
be great for a football Sunday stream.
He was
That's
great in
what
the
I like
Prize
to
Picks
do.
one. Like it'd be amazing. So if
Like when
DraftKings comes aboard,
Like I made that like a regular thing now with like Big Cat to do like once a year to make sure I go out there to do
yeah,
the Sunday stream because
God,
it's so much
that's
fun to do
fun,
the
dude.
stream. man.
You know what gets scary about those streams though? Like at least like when we do the streams, you see the chat in the Barstool streams. Like I don't know if you've seen the same thing. Like if you feel the same, like you don't see the chat. So
No,
like
no.
the first like hour, but then you get to like hour 6 and you kind of forget that there is mics and cameras, like that you're live, like that there's
I was always terrified every time I do it.
it's Joe live. It's the scariest
the
thing in the
thing about
world.
the streams is like I try to make, especially when I'm in somebody else's house, like going to Barstool and doing it. Like I try to make a conscious effort to stay off the phone when I'm on the stream.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Like I really try to like do that because I've seen the chats eviscerate guys who are on the phone.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I've seen them,
tough.
like they hate that, but like you also have to understand, like, dude, I'm sitting here for 8 hours. Like
Oh,
I'm here
yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah,
Like,
those
it's
are
like,
those are different because
By the way,
I
that
do
I watched the highlights of them with the Knicks stream. Those guys, they were throwing a fit because they lost one game. You can't be throwing a fit over one game.
Oh yeah,
well,
but that's
I
New
mean,
York.
Joe, the
That
fashion
that was
in
a
which
bad
they,
game. Yeah, I
the
disagree
fashion
with
in which
that.
That one guy was kicking chairs and throwing.
But Joe, that's
he's out of control.
I
Joe,
disagree.
yeah,
I mean, you saw when the Yankees lost the first game of the World Series, that video that Narode
That's a
recorded.
World Series.
But it's the Eastern Conference. I disagree with that, dude. That's a big game to win.
You have to understand. Number one, the history they have with the Indiana Pacers and Reggie Miller and all the shit that's happened to them with the Indiana Pacers. That's one. Number two, no team in playoff NBA history had ever lost when up 14 plus points with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. They were teams down that much were 0 and 970 or something fucking ludicrous. It was the most improbable, impossible. So I strongly disagree. If that was me and that was my team,
You would have been
like,
kicking chairs on the live stream.
Joe, I would have been so furious, Joe. I would have been fucking.
Yeah,
I would
that's
have
a
been livid.
bad.
I would have been
bro, to
livid.
lose
Now,
that
not if
first
it was the
game.
Bears, because the Bears. Listen, I'm used to everything. The
I
Bears. have
saw you
done
watch
everything to me.
the Bears on a live stream lose the worst way possible on
Yes.
the block field goal,
Right.
and you kept
and
your
I-
composure.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying because I'm so used to it. It's
Wow,
year
but
after year with
still.
them, and it wasn't a playoff game. When the double
Why
doink
did
happened,
this-
when the double doink happened against Philly, you could ask my wife. I almost put my fist through the kitchen counter.
Yeah, but you were in
Did
the
you?
privacy of your own home. You
Bob,
weren't
I
on
was so angry,
you
Bob.
were in the privacy of your own home. You were.
I was in the
live stream.
privacy of my own home. That's true, but
And
even
here's
still,
the thing: is
I
if
would have done it in public.
If
probably.
if I run those antics, it would be a whole different narrative.
Joe.
Yeah, but so what though?
But Joe, the things you'll do on a PGA 2K stream, like
I'm not throwing chairs.
Joe, you're doing everything but throwing chairs, dude. You go like, come on, that's.
I mean, in all
crazy.
fairness, too, like PGA Stream is not the Eastern Conference Finals.
I lost
Yeah.
the PGA stream
Respectfully.
where I had to eat the world's hottest
Correct,
shit.
but Joe,
yeah,
it was
but you
streams
knew
prior.
you were going to
But
survive
Joe,
that chip.
it's all the
You knew it.
streams prior. It wasn't just that stream. where
Well,
you've
that
done
one
it.
was a little extra on top, a little cherry on top. That one, Bob.
My favorite stream was the first stream I did with Joe, and he didn't really know how like the chat worked, and like they could message you from the PlayStation, so it would pop up and be like, "Joe, go fuck yourself," and it like pops up, and he was screaming at the chat.
That was a little out of line. That stream, Bob.
All right, let's let's head on over with you, D-Man. He's got the hot hand right now. D-Man, buy or sell?
I'm gonna buy. They have this thing. I don't know what the proper term for it is in the hotel room here, and it's tremendous. You press a button, and this whole thing, it's like a shade comes down. Mike, I'm telling you right now, it's the middle of daylight.
It's like
right now.
blackout curtains.
Yeah, blackout curtain. You've never.
It is unbelievable, dude. You would feel like it's 12 o'clock at night.
Joe,
You've
all
never
day.
stayed in a hotel with blackout.
I've never used those things before.
Oh, they're the best,
bro. Now,
it is unbelievable, dude.
The only problem is it's like hard to wake up. Like it's really they are good because I did it last night too, Joe. We had to wake up we started every tea time we had was like 7 a.m. So we had to be at the course at like 6:15, 6:30. So we were waking up. Today we had the day off. So I put the blackout curtains. I can't tell you the last time I slept till 10 a.m. I was out like a light till 10 a.m.
Unbelievable, dude. It
Yeah.
enhances your ability to sleep.
It's a
Just
good play.
blocks out all the sunlight.
Yeah, dude, those things are. But again, it's hard to wake up. Like I couldn't believe I slept till 10. I can't.
When you told me you had just woken up, I was shocked.
Oh my God, I was gone.
Well, all right, he was a very regimented morning routine guy.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Still got the gym in though. Still got the gym. Still
I'm
made
sure
it.
he still got the cameos on time.
So what's Father's Day? Father's Day month.
Well, it doesn't start till June, Father's Day.
Oh, it starts now, dude.
Yeah.
Father's Day starts in May. You're gonna see it. It'll come in. Father's Day. I remember me and Narode had to go to a wedding and it was the night before Father's Day, so I knew I had to get all the cameos done by Father's Day. I had 135 cameos to do in the morning before we left. So then I had to listen to me fire off cameos for 4 hours straight.
I did that at
didn't stop.
Christmas. I had Christmas. I put the price. It was crazy. I did like a like a clearance sale on the cameos.
A clearance sale. A clearance sale. Shut the fuck up, Joe.
Or whatever you want to call it, like a
Yeah,
big
the
reduction.
can sale, the cutsy sale. The cutsy
Anyways,
sale.
I had cameos over Christmas break, and you got to get them by Christmas. You can't be late.
Correct.
And
No.
there's just shitloads. There was shitloads. It was great, but it was time consuming.
I hate when I let like a cameo go down to the wire and I just feel bad like not getting it out. Or if you miss somebody's birthday from where they book it, you have 7 days to do it. So they book, and you missed it by a couple of days. That bothers me. And then to see if they cancel, it drives me nuts.
The cancel.
It's the worst.
It's not good. It's not a good spot to be.
Yeah, Ketsy tore it up during Christmas though, because there was times on the leaderboard where I'm like, all right, he's not going to catch me. I'm not going to have to worry about it. But then I would see his ass charging up.
I think I was like third overall.
Yeah, it was really good. It was. By the way, Joe, are you in for UFC weekend?
Is UFC
Just
weekend
depends.
happening?
Yeah, it's a go. It's a go.
Well,
On
it's
the
just
day
really
next.
Is that
depends.
100%?
90, the same percent that I told you on the phone the other day.
What is
Okay,
the
so
date,
I'm
Bob?
gonna reserve that.
It's
day.
the O'Malley
7th,
fight,
the
and then
7th.
what we would do is
6-7,
It's
6-7.
gonna be
the Yankees play Sunday afternoon, so we would go to dinner with Volpe, Weaver, and all those guys at the night. It'd be a dream weekend. You get the O'Malley, Marab. By the way,
And that's
O'Malley,
big because the Friday I have something, so it's big that we're going on Sunday, not Friday for Yanks.
Mike,
It really
Joe.
just comes down to when I have to do this NHL stuff, man. It's gonna be
Joe, we need you at the UFC.
We do.
fight.
Yeah,
no,
we do.
no disrespect. I
NHL
love
can win.
hockey. I'm a big hockey guy, but
I agree.
there's
He's
no
gotta be
NHL
there.
finals that day. We looked at it, Joe.
My dad
Home-
asked, he's like, is Joe
Home team
going?
Stanley Cup either June 7th or June 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, June 7th. June 7th is that
no.
day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It just depends. Now, if both series
June 9th
ends-
would be good.
The 9th would be tremendous.
Well, no, but if both series go to like 5 games only, then the series and the Stanley Cup, it goes forward a week. So it'd be like June 4th, so I could do it.
That weekend of going into New York with the boys, doing a dinner. I would even, Mike, I don't know if you'd be up for it, but I would go to the I love going to the press conference before Friday night, get you all excited, and the weigh-ins Friday. But
yeah, I can't do the weigh-in because
Okay.
I have something Friday night, but Saturday, obviously.
Saturday to go to the fights, Marab for Sugar Sean, who Sugar Sean is going to come on, I believe. That's not officially confirmed prior to the fights. And then Sunday, Yankees, Red Sox, followed up by dinner with the boys. D-Man, you got it. We got to have you. That's a grade A weekend. That's as good as it
I'll
gets.
try as much as I can. Now, I want to say that, I'm going to take O'Malley because he's friend of the pod, but it's going to be hard to beat Marab.
I
dude.
agree.
Yeah.
agree.
I tell you what, I hope
If there was
Uncle
no
Dan- I hope-
allegiance, Marab, I would be hammered.
I hope Uncle Dana puts us in the same exact spot.
No,
man.
no.
I don't need cage
Dude.
side, dude. I'm telling you, I know cage side is special. I'm sure it is, Bob. I don't disagree. But Bob, do you not agree, Bob? If you're not first row on the cage at the seats we had, that first perch,
It's the best seat in the house.
It
It's
is.
the best seat in the house.
it is. Look at Joe. Joe has to be on.
No,
He
I
wants
don't
to.
have to be. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you do.
It's an
You do.
experience. No, I don't have to.
No,
be,
the
because
experience was the same thing because we could
Yeah.
walk right onto the floor. It wasn't like we couldn't go on the
Michael,
floor.
the blood was splattering. I could see. it all.
Joe, I got to be honest. I don't want blood to splatter on me. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't need the blood.
No, I didn't get any on me.
I got the mouth guard.
My two favorite moments of UFC is when Poirier beat Saint Denis and I jumped on Joe on the chair next to Burrow and everybody on
right
the
after
chair.
he asked me to take a picture with Liver King.
Correct. And then the second one in no particular order is Mikey V catching that Kevin Allen mouthpiece was one of the funny catch it, Mikey. Or Mike calling Clemson Mike to Mercedes Lewis
Oh,
the
God.
entire night
Oh,
for
God.
Rogers.
I still will never live that down.
No,
that I
not
wasn't
Clem.
there.
Was it Clemson, Mike?
But Mikey,
Yeah.
we got that picture with
Mike
Rogers,
Williams.
seeing how happy you were where you got the
Mm.
picture with Rogers and then going into the seats to start the night That was tremendous.
It was
Well,
cool tonight when we saw Judge.
the Rogers thing was sick, man.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
cool.
That was really
Could
cool.
not
By
have
the
been
way, is
nicer.
he not going to play this year? Like, what is going on?
I think he'll eventually sign with Pittsburgh, but I don't know what's going
Lord only knows what's taking so long though.
on. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I don't know. I don't think he really gives a shit. You know?
I do.
just no. Not that he doesn't give a shit in a bad way. I just think like he's just gonna go at his own. You know what I mean, Bob? He marches to the beat of his own drum. He doesn't care. If he signs in June, he doesn't care. Like he just doesn't care.
But don't you think though that he does want his whole like retirement tour and like to
Michael,
end better than
What,
it did with the
remember what we heard in Wisconsin from a reliable source is that there's a potential he's waiting out to go to play with Minnesota.
Oh, with Minnesota, yeah. I had heard
that
that
would be
previously.
devastating.
Yeah,
But aren't they're giving McCarthy to go, no?
Yeah, they're gonna go with JJ. They're gonna go with JJ.
All right, Mikey, we got to go over to you, and then we got to get into the top 5.
Yes, we do. Gentlemen. I am going to sell this week, and I'm going to sell something. It was a discussion actually that I had with this guy. He's a comedian. He came on that the high stakes high stakes hot takes.
Isn't that your show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
High stakes hot takes. It's a tongue twister, Bob. It's a tongue twister.
I forgot the name of his show.
This guy, Joe List, this comedian, he brought up something, and I got to agree with him on this. This is a big sell. And he talked about it in social settings when you go to a party and they ask, like, I'm going to order a bunch of pizzas.
I saw this.
It was basically a sell of ordering any pizzas with toppings. And he brought it up. He goes, if you're at like a party, like everybody that always wants to order like some kind of exotic pizza, they always just end up having maybe one slice of that, and then they could just go right to the plane. Yeah. They go right to the plane. And I got to tell you, I thought about it, and it's the truest statement maybe of all time. When you're having a party or something like that, just order plain pizzas and maybe 1 or 2 pies of pepperoni. That's it. Just order the plain pies, because the other pies, they never go. They never go unless it's like a Sicilian, which I really don't consider like an exotic pie, because it's basically just a square pie, a little bit thicker.
Give me like a barbecue chicken pizza.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't order a Hawaiian pie, like the pineapple and the ham, and like it just never goes.
Not
like
a bad pie.
Specialty pies to me are like, there's a time and place for them. It's not at a party with a lot of people, because again, I think people they start panicking when they go up to the boxes.
I like,
and then they just revert to the plain. You know what I mean? I think specialty slices are reserved for the stop in the pizza parlor itself. When you walk in and then you see all the varieties and you say, you know what? I don't want a pie of taco pizza, but I sure as fuck will have 1 slice of taco pizza or a chicken Caesar salad pizza, which
that's a fair
really
statement.
good.
It's a good take. It does never ever go. It really, you know what I can't do is like, sometimes we're sus, or like I'll do a cheese pie and then the white pie. Like you can't have more than 1 of the white pie, and it looks good at the time, but it ends up just being too much.
I love a good white broccoli. I do. I think a white broccoli slice hits really nice. It's just, again, like it's tough to do a whole pie of that. It's very tough.
All right, good stuff. Now we're gonna head on over to our top 5. The D-Man. If you look at where I was, the commanding lead that I had in the top 5, it is dwindling into the night. We need to
fire this kid, dude.
The Brilliant Dumb Show tracker hasn't put up the standings in a while. I want to see the standings. Unless I'm just missing it, then I apologize.
Did you miss it?
Yeah, maybe
he said he's not getting paid. It's it's
the D-Man is red hot. I still have 1. Joey D's right on my tail, and then Mikey V is back there. But
what did we do? So
I keep coming in. I feel like I've come in second. Like,
what was the last 2 that we did? So we did
the last week was the nostalgia, and the week before was the worst franchises.
So he has the one with the worst franchises. He just doesn't have the one.
Oh, I missed 1 week.
So what's the total?
So it's now 26, 24, and 15.
Joe thinks that like bothers me. It doesn't.
Is that including Joe, your win last week?
No, I'm at 24 now. This is the week before. I'm
So
two
the
behind
23,
you.
yeah.
Wow, the lead's cut to 2,
Dude,
Bob.
he's been good. I like
nipping at those heels, Bob. And the fact that he did it last week while in the state he was in
I
was
know.
really. Now I'm gonna say something
I'm a
about
big
last
nostalgia
week.
guy, though.
I dropped a huge ball last week because I thought of it before the pod, and I said I'm gonna fucking nail it with this pick, and I just completely just went out of my brain. You know what I was gonna say, Joe?
Which one?
Pogs.
Oh, Mikey, I had that written down.
Pogs.
I'm not
I
even
feel
making
like
we
if I
believe
had
you,
said
Joe.
Pogs, it would have hit, man.
Look,
I just
it's the
think it would've-
first one on my list, Pogs.
I don't know how I forgot it.
Remember the
but-
Slammer?
Yeah, the slammers, bro.
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
I know, that's why I said-
Mikey and
why I
I
said
are.
Joe.
That's why Mikey and I see eye to eye with the.
That was before Bob's time, Pogs.
That's
It
why
was.
we're 7 years your elder.
Shut up, dude. All right. So this one is going to be top 5 funniest athletes. I think we've done this before, but we haven't done it.
We have not. I
No,
don't
but
think we have.
not in the snake draft form.
I don't think we have ever. I think we
We
did.
might have.
I think
I
we
remember-
did. I think we did like the nicest athletes or the athletes we'd most want to hang out with or something like that. I don't think
Maybe.
we've done funniest. I really don't think we have.
I think we did, just not
Yeah.
in snake draft form. You
Could
could
be
be
wrong.
right.
Could be
Yeah. All right. So Joe, you get to pick first. Mikey second. Joe, where do you want to go?
This is tough. I will go first.
Okay. And Mikey, where would you like to go, sir?
I'm gonna go second because I do think there's a clear 1-2.
Okay.
That's why I'm not going third because I don't want to miss that.
So
Got it.
top 5 funniest athletes.
At number 1, I'm gonna go with Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay. I'm gonna go Sir Charles.
I know,
think
I
think
thought that
Barkley.
was-
I like Shaq a lot. He was very high on my list, but I'm gonna go Chuck because I had to take.
I
one
think
of
there
those
are
two.
1-2. That was the 1-2 that I had.
I think Chuck was the clear cut one.
I don't
but
know if he's
Shaq is good.
Clear cut. I think
Shaq's a great
Shaq
pick.
is so good, man.
It's a great pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go with give me Marshawn Lynch,
It's a good one.
and then give me Peyton Manning.
That's a
another good
really
one.
good start.
Yeah, I do agree that there was a clear cut 1 and 2.
I'm gonna take Mike Tyson second round.
Really love that pick.
I'm gonna go with Pat McAfee. And then on the way back, I'll go with Rob Gronkowski.
Okay.
The Gronker.
This is where it starts to get hard now, boys.
Goes to you,
Yeah.
right, Mikey?
Yeah, it's to me. I'm gonna take. Now we could take any dead or alive is fine. correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take Bill Walton. I thought Bill Walton was hysterical.
He was
Yeah.
good. Now Bob's got 2 picks, right? This is so much nicer doing without eating the hot chip, dude.
I could imagine. I could imagine it's a little.
Michael, there was one point where you couldn't get a pick towards the end.
I know.
I was like beside myself.
That was, you know, why I couldn't get that pick because I was thinking of the fucking Pogs and I couldn't spit it out. Fuck.
Oh, that might have won it for you, to be completely
I
honest. That
know,
might have taken you over the edge.
Pogs, fuck.
So I'm gonna go give me Muhammad Ali, and then give me Paul Bissonnette.
The Biz. All right, I'm gonna take Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, apparently he's a riot.
Yeah,
Because I looked it up. A lot of people have said that.
He's hysterical, bro. Zlatan. Joseph, 2, your last 2.
I'll go with David Ortiz, the
Fuck,
big
it's
Poppy.
great
Poppy.
pick.
It's a good one.
And I have 1 pick left, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go with Terry Bradshaw. I think he's he's for years he's been hysterical on that NFL broadcast. And then we got Mikey, and then
Yeah, I'm gonna take the other Manning brother, who I think Eli is as hysterical as Peyton. I gotta
Think
be
so?
honest. I think Eli's
I
fucking
feel like
hilarious.
he's a little corny.
I think that he does that and trolls Peyton, and I think it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, okay, I can see
Personally.
where you're going from. I mean, I think Peyton is funnier for sure,
Yeah.
but It's not a bad last pick,
I'm
Mikey.
going to take Eli.
I'm gonna go with the guy who, although I hate, he gave me nightmares. He was some of the shit he did. He has one of my all-time favorite sports moments. I'm gonna go with Manny Ramirez. But do you remember the game, Mikey, where
He threw the ball backwards?
no, yes, I remember that. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one was there was a ball that got hit into the gap, and the outfielder he picks up the ball and he throws it, and for some reason, Manny Ramirez jumps in
He
front
cuts
of
it
the
off.
ball.
Yeah,
It was one of the I have never
Actually, I think that's what I was thinking of. I don't know if he's ever thrown the ball backwards. I think I was thinking of the cutoff play. That was the most incredible
It
thing
was
ever.
the
Why
most
did he do that?
nobody knows.
They're still
Joe.
trying to figure it out to this
And
day.
yeah, and they asked him after the game, and his English was so bad that nobody ever ended up really knowing
You know a
what
funny
he
story
did.
about, so you know Shane from Cameo, he told me that he got Manny on Cameo, but apparently he's just like a hit or miss because his English is still not very good. So he gets the cameos come in and he's trying to read them and he's messing them all up.
It's awesome,
Apparently
dude.
it's hysterical.
He was
I would
the
just tell them to
best.
do it in Spanish because I would just Google Translate.
And Espanol.
Yes,
I
and
do
that's
think
por favor.
Joe getting Ortiz first is better, but Ramirez was amazing. That's one of the first lists. Usually there's a few more guys on the list that I have, but it almost all got taken. But go ahead, Mikey. Let's read out who everybody got.
All right, Joe with the one pick has got Shaq, McAfee, the Gronk, David Ortiz, Terry Bradshaw. I have Charles Barkley, Mike Tyson, Bill Walton, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Eli Manning. Bob has Marshawn Lynch, Peyton Manning, Muhammad Ali, Biz, and Man Ram.
I think it's
It'll be close.
I think I'm the favorite, but that could be.
Ortiz is a good one, man.
I think
do
you
like
had a good. I
having him.
think the Bradshaw is where it isn't going to help the list. I know it's hard with the 5. I think you had it till Bradshaw still may have it. I don't know.
You know who I
anymore.
was gonna go with?
Mm.
Who I think is really funny. Well, is you guys remember the White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine?
Oh yeah.
He's
Do
hysterical.
you know who is good too? Honorable mention, greatest nickname in all of sports, Lemon Pepper Lou.
Yeah.
Lou Williams was it's my favorite.
I also had Joakim Noah was really funny. I had him on the list as well.
Yeah, or I'll give you another one. Jokic. Jokic is
funny.
hysterical.
Yogi Berra too. One guy who's Yogi Berra is so.
Oh, you mean Novak
funny,
Djokovic?
What's that?
Novak Djokovic? Is that
No, I mean Yogi
No,
Berra.
I'm talking about Bob.
Oh,
No, Nikola Jokic.
Oh, you mean the
Jokic, the basketball player.
I know
Yeah.
because you know who else is very funny is Djokovic, the
Yeah.
tennis player, is really good.
Yeah,
When I was
Their
looking-
name sounds familiar.
When I was looking into it, a lot of people put him, and but all right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for another edition of the Brilliantly Dumb Show. Really, really good stuff, fellas.
Sydney Bob coming next week.
Sydney Bob coming next week. Please remind me because I'll definitely forget. I'm gonna have to.
Cinnabon.
So all it is cinnamon just isn't supposed
You
to
just
sit
gotta
there.
take a
eat You have to take
tablespoon?
it. It's not a
Tablespoon?
tablespoon, Joe. It's a tea. I think we have to solidify
Well, we'll
that.
look
There's a
this
big
up. We'll
difference
look this
between a
up.
tablespoon and a teaspoon. It's a big
That's
difference.
not that big a difference. But it's essentially it's a spoon of cinnamon that you put in your mouth, you swallow it, you go like this.
Dude.
Oh,
And
I
then
have,
the
to, I have
cloud.
to swallow it.
Yes.
Oh, I
Dude,
think
he's gonna go.
The cloud.
Did you ever see Joe, did you ever see that movie what the fuck was it? The Hocus Pocus? You ever see that movie? Hocus Pocus?
Yeah.
Do you remember the guy in that movie who was like the dead guy, the dead boyfriend that they brought back and they cut the stitches to his mouth open and when they did he just poofed out like that's gonna be Bob with this.
Yo, it'll be another 1 out of 10 though, Bob. That's
Oh,
good
it'll be
news.
so good.
Oh,
He's gonna cough. He's gonna be coughing. It's gonna be unfucking real.
And then
Oh.
we need suggestions for Ticket because Ticket
Yes.
is ready to go for something too. So let's keep it going. Thank you for all this.
Any suggestions for challenges, please
Yeah.
fire them in.
Yeah.
Might be the
yes.
new thing now, man. Might just be what we have to do.
We're
But that
such
does it.
scumbags.
Another edition, the Brilliant Dumb Show. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week.